They called him the Child of Promise, born when his parents were nearly 100. But Isaac's life wasn't just about a miracle birth. His story is full of quiet strength, faith in God, and choosing peace when things got hard. This is the full story of Isaac. Isaac was born to Abraham and Sarah in their old age, just as God had promised. Sarah had laughed when she first heard she would have a child because she thought she was too old. But God proved that nothing is too hard for him. When Isaac was born, they named him Isaac, which means laughter. When Isaac was still a boy, God tested Abraham's faith. He told Abraham to offer Isaac as a sacrifice. Abraham obeyed, and just as he was about to take Isaac's life, God stopped him. A ram was caught in a bush nearby, and God provided the sacrifice. That moment was powerful. It showed Abraham's trust, and it pointed to a future day when God would provide his own son as a sacrifice for us all. As Isaac grew up, it was time for him to marry. Abraham didn't want Isaac to marry a woman from Canaan, so he sent his servant back to his homeland to find a wife. The servant prayed and asked God for a clear sign. At a well, a young woman named Rebekah appeared. She offered water to him and to his camels, just as the servant had prayed. It was God's answer. Rebekah chose to leave her home and travel far to marry Isaac. When she arrived, Isaac brought her into his mother's tent. He married her and loved her deeply. She gave him comfort after the death of his mother, Sarah. But like Isaac's parents, Isaac and Rebekah faced their own challenge. Rebekah couldn't have children. Isaac prayed to God, and God answered. After 20 years of waiting, Rebekah became pregnant with twins. But even before they were born, the two babies struggled inside her. She asked God what was happening, and God told her, "The older son will serve the younger." The twins were born. Esau came out first, and Jacob came second, holding on to Esau's heel. Esau grew up to be a skilled hunter, and Jacob was more quiet and stayed near home. Isaac favored Esau, while Rebekah favored Jacob. Later, a famine came to the land, just like during Abraham's time. Isaac wanted to go down to Egypt, but God told him to stay in the land he would show him. In Gerar, Isaac lied and said Rebekah was his sister, afraid someone might kill him to take her. But God protected them, and even in a foreign land, Isaac became very wealthy. His crops produced 100 times more than what he planted, and his flocks and servants increased. But the people around him, the Philistines, became jealous. They filled in his wells with dirt and argued over the land. Isaac reopened the wells that his father Abraham had dug. Then he dug new wells. But each time, local herders fought him for them. Instead of fighting back, Isaac moved to a new place and dug another well. He kept choosing peace over conflict. Finally, he dug a well that no one argued over. He named it Rehoboth, saying, "At last, the Lord has created enough space for us to prosper in this land." These wells weren't just about water. They showed how Isaac trusted God to make a way, without having to fight for it. Later in life, when Isaac was old and nearly blind, he wanted to give his blessing to Esau, his favorite son. But Rebekah helped Jacob trick Isaac by dressing him like Esau and preparing his favorite meal. Isaac was unsure, but he went ahead and gave the blessing to Jacob. Soon after, Esau came in with food, and the truth was revealed. Isaac trembled in shock, but the blessing had already been spoken. It could not be taken back. Esau begged for another blessing, but all Isaac could give was a smaller one. It was a heartbreaking moment, and from then on, Esau planned to kill Jacob. Isaac lived a long life. He was there when Jacob left to find a wife, and when he returned years later with a family of his own. Isaac's life wasn't as dramatic as Abraham's or Jacob's, but it was just as important. He was the link in the promise God had made. A faithful man who trusted God, loved his family, and chose peace when he could have chosen conflict. Isaac's story shows that faith doesn't always shout. Sometimes it's quiet, steady, and full of peace. Are you trusting God even when things don't seem big or exciting? Are you choosing peace when it's easier to fight? If this story spoke to you, like, share, and subscribe for more Bible stories that speak truth and bring understanding.